Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to PDINA Royally Teachable Moments. So glad you're here today. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Thanks for all of your support. My channel has grown and I'm so grateful to all of you who watch my videos for your comments. I do go through the comments. I may not respond to everyone or be able to because it's just so many, but I do go through and read them. So thank you for all of your comments. And yeah. And Otis thanks you too. he loves to be down here to film. He just loves it. So yeah, we're trying to make this something that that we continue to do, and we can only do it with your support. So thank you, mwah! Thank you so much. Let's get into it. Okay, so I want to just talk about this whole thing around the royal titles, because at this point, the titles need to go. The titles need to go. And with this most recent thing around this royal racist allegations, nonsense, thanks to Meghan Markle and her trying to just make it in the world of show business and throwing the royal family under a bus, she has taken it to a whole nother level. And I think those that are feeling the brunt of her conniving, her scheming, her ways of being a manipulative, just wrong. Everything about this woman and what she has done is just wrong. Who does the things that this woman is doing? Who does this? Right? So at this point, some changes need to happen. Some changes, because the only way you can really get things to be better is you have to take action. And I know it's always been the royal family stance to just, never complain, never explain, just keep going the course, wait for it to just die down. But you don't get it to die down. Look, this interview with Oprah happened in 2021, and here we are all over again. It's resurfaced. So anything around race, you cannot just say, okay, it will go away, because you are forever letting people paint you as something that you are not. Now, we know there are racist people everywhere in the world. We all have our biases, but we do not want to be labeled something that is not true. Okay? And this is ridiculous. They should not be allowed to just hum-de-dum, hum-de-dum, hum-de-dum. I'm a royal. Here's a book. Here's an interview. There's racists. Let the Montecito folks go on about their business in California as if nothing has happened. Like what happened recently where Meghan did a pap walk, smiling and acting as if she's not bothered in the least by these new allegations. It just proves that she is pushing it in their face and doesn't care and wants to go on with her life. There are consequences to your actions. So that's what's happening. So this royal race war smear sparks a nuclear option bid at Westminster to strip Harry and Meghan of their titles. So conservative politician Bob Seeley argues that the pair should not keep the titles and the privileges. No. If they trash the institution. You are not going to allow somebody to maintain the status quo, maintain your place within our privileged arena while talking about us at the same time, causing us to have headaches over being called racist. You cannot allow these people to continue doing what they're doing. So, this plays a very important role in the part of our nation's life as he looks to update wartime powers, opening the way for the couple to be Mr and Mrs Sussex. Okay, so this law change is being sought by Tory MP to strip the Duke and Duchess of Sussex of their titles over the royal racism row. Exactly. And I know there's some apprehension about that, because then there's going to be backlash at people saying, why you take their titles? Why? You know what? Just deal with it when it happens, because you need to take action at this point. So condemning the poisonously insidious smear against senior members of the household, Bob Seeley wants to update wartime powers that would pave the way for the couple to be Mr and Mrs Sussex. Yes. And I think at the same time, you need to get people talking about this, what has happened in America, a lot more, because we know they're going to try to spin it with lies that are not going to be things that most people who don't follow the royal family are going to really understand, because they will make this a smear that the royals have retaliated against them, despite their saying that they did not announce or say who the royal racists are. But, look, it started with them. So referring to it as the nuclear option, the Isle of Wight MP argued Harry and Meghan should not keep the titles and privileges if they trash the institution, which plays a huge part in our nation's life. I mean, you are talking about the stability of the institution of the monarchy is really being attacked. It's almost as if you are at war and someone is fighting you and you do not hit back. Who's going to allow someone just to slam you continually, and you just like, ow, that hurt. Oh, I'm offended. Oh, why'd you do that? Why? No, you have got to put up your hands and block those attacks. Block them. Block those attacks. And, and then at the same time, give a smackdown. You know what I mean, symbolically, not physically. You have to, because otherwise, how are they going to know and feel the repercussions of their actions? Because they haven't had any, it allows them to continue doing what they're doing. Okay, so he has moved to act after the King and the Princess of Wales were named in the Dutch version of a new book as the two royals who raised concerns about what skin the Duke and Duchess of unborn son Archie would have. And this is the thing. I mean, I know I've said this before, but I want to say it again for Miss Catherine, okay? Catherine, she just rolling with it? She just doing her job. Do you think this woman got a racist bone in her body? It's a shame that Meghan took her old Hollywood butt over to live in England and just wreaked havoc on it without even trying to understand it and looking at something from a perspective of, I have to bend my ways, but yet wanting people to adhere to what she wants. And there are reasons why the royal family does not want the bullying allegations that surround Meghan and Harry in their office when they were in the royal family. There's a reason why they don't want that to come out. And I think that's unfortunate, because you got a bomb on your hands that you are just choosing not to detonate because you just might be caught in the crossfire. Maybe that's why. Maybe. Because I can't see a reason why you would not release the bullying allegations. Let it slip. Let it get revealed some kind of way. Hey, somebody send me the information. I say it. Someone sends YouTuber information about the bullying allegations of Meghan Markle during her time within the royal family. I'll be like, okay, yeah. Okay, look, I got this anonymous letter in the mail. I don't know who sent it, but it says these are the bullying allegations against Meghan Markle. We're going to go through them point by point. I say it. Somebody leak it to me. That's what you got to do. You got to play dirty like this. You have to. When the unsubstantiated allegation first surfaced 2 years ago, Buckingham Palace dismissed it as fiction. It was just like, that's fiction. We're not going to worry about that. You can't do that. You got to start changing your ways with your nobility. You got to start giving little royal smackdowns, like smack it down, or smack it down, smack it down. And you can do it in a royal way. You ain't got to do it in a ghetto way. You can do it very royally when you give a smackdown. Do it. Okay. But the controversy was reignited this week after a translation of Omit's book Endgame pointed to the finger of a leading royal or leading royals. The Dutch edition made headlines around the world and saw the book pulled from shelves in the Netherlands over the error. Mr. Scooby has denied it was a publicity stunt, and he insisted he never submitted a book that had their names in it. Well, somebody did. Somebody did. So you may tell me somebody else wrote that version that you wrote the names in? Now, I heard one commentator who is very much pro Harry and Meghan say, well, I can see how this happened. At one point, he did have the names in there, and then it went to legal, and then legal said you have to remove the names. And then somehow, inadvertently, the version that had the name still in it was sent off to the Dutch publishers, and they revealed it in the translation. Well, People that are doing this very professionally year after year with thousands of books coming out in many languages year after year, you cannot tell me that someone did not do their job correctly and send off an old version. No, there are checks and balances to make sure you have the right version of the book that you are publishing. Okay, so this was a stunt. The Mr. Seeley is looking to introduce his titles deprivation 1917 amendment bill to Westminster. Yes, I think that's a very good idea. Because if it warned a time, this is the time to do it is now. Now. It would adapt a law originally passed to deny enemy German nobles their British titles during the First World War by removing references to enemies in present war. Writing in the Mail on Sunday, Mr. Seeley said, "I'm not a Republican and support the monarchy, but after the latest installment of the couple's feud with the rest of the royal family, I believe that Parliament and the Privy Council should consider a nuclear option." That's right. Get rid of them. Because you know they prancing around, at least Meghan is anyway, with her title, just because we know this all leads to Meghan. You do know that, don't you? You do know this leads to Meghan. Okay, never forget, Meghan's friend Marcus Anderson is the current boyfriend or ex-boyfriend of Omid. So there's a clear connection to Meghan and Omid, considering Marcus Anderson is Meghan's second right-hand man. First, I'm assuming the first one is her husband, I think, maybe. But it's been reported that the second right-hand man to Meghan is Marcus Anderson. So the Duke and the Duchess can be Mr. and Mrs. like the rest of us. That's right. If you don't like the monarchy, if you are so anti-monarchy, you want to call them out as racist, they're going to kick you to the curb and you're never welcome back. Just be Mr. and Mrs. It's time to just go nuclear, full nuclear on this couple. My Titles Deprivation Act of 1917 Act would allow a vote in Parliament to advise the Ancient Advisory Privy Council to strip a member of the royal family of their titles. My aim is simple. If someone doesn't want to be royal, that is a decision we respect, but they should not keep the titles and privileges if they trash an institution that plays an important part in our nation's life. Sources close to the Sussexes have stressed that Harry and Meghan are not behind claims made in Omid Scooby's book, but I suspect that few people believe such denials. That's exactly right. People don't believe it. It's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. We know a lie, and they know how to give lies, and they're not afraid to give lies. So why should you believe them now? He added of Omid Scobie's allegations, the use of race to smear the royal family is the most poisonously insidious, guaranteed to leave a whiff, a stigma, and impossible to prove when false. It is the catch-all slur of the modern era. That's right. And I ask you this, who benefits from the royals being racist? Who benefits? Meghan benefits. All roads lead to Meghan. This has definitely come from her camp. Okay, so you can try to just believe her if you want, but this woman has been caught lying on many occasions. She is not to be trusted. The allegations jar with so much of what we know about the royals and this country. The late Queen and King Charles have done extraordinary work over decades, reaching out to everyone in the country, including ethnic minorities and those from Commonwealth nations. And this is the thing about that. If you do not debunk this, if you do not come out against it, you allow all the work of the previous royals, all the work that Princess Anne has done, all the work of the Queen and Prince Philip, you allow all the people that have done work on behalf of the Commonwealth and the people of Great Britain, you allow it to just fizzle away when you allow these allegations to stand and you do not get rid of it. Have some backbone and make it go away by using your royal upper hand to smack it down. Mr. Seeley went on, it's time for us all to move on. Something needs to happen because, you know, Meghan is plotting and planning. I mean, if this could come out years after the Oprah interview, it will continually come out. It will never go away. I believe it's time they dropped their titles or were made to and lived by their own talents if they have any to speak of. That's right. If is a big word for them because we know they don't have no talent. So let's just make it very clear. You are getting thrown under a bus, Harry and Meghan. Everything that you have done to your own family, Meghan to her own family, Harry to his own family, it's time for them to get it back. And it needs to be a nuclear bomb. Get rid of these two wackadoos because they have got no standing anymore to be a part of the royal family. And I'm done. Let's go, Otis.